Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, where we talk about spirituality, life lessons, and overall self-development. In today's episode, we'll be discussing spiritual beings having a human experience. The great Wayne Dyer said that in one of his motivational talks, spiritual motivational talks, about where spiritual beings having a human experience. And I remember listening to that years ago, back in the day. But I've been thinking about that lately, and he's absolutely right. And I just want to explain it from my point of view. See, we're spirits before we even got to Earth, before we were even born. So we're spirits, and then we're born. Then we live life on Earth, having a human experience. And then after the human experience, after, we die, then our spirit just keeps going after that. So our spirit lives longer than our body. We come here to have an experience. Our body has senses. We can hear, we can taste, we can smell, see, touch. We have our senses. That's so we can navigate. That's so we can navigate the terrain here. And where we get wrapped up at is we start thinking our human form is more important than the spirit that's running our human body. That's why I always talk about getting to know yourself in previous episodes. I always talk about let's get to know. We need to get to know ourselves better. And what I mean by getting to know ourselves better is getting to know our spirit. Because our spirit is what's running our body. And the reason why I say our spirit is more important than our body, even that our body's important, especially for being here on Earth, is that if something happened and we don't have a part of our body, or part of our body stops functioning, we're still able to move. We can still keep going while we're here. We can still keep going. We're still having the experience, the human experience. But if our spirit goes out of our body, then the human experience is over. So that's what I'm saying. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So when I say we need to learn ourselves, meaning we need to learn our spirits, that would help us to communicate with each other on a deeper level. Because a lot of us only operate on a face value level. You got to realize sometimes people are like, well, I don't know who to trust, this, that. The reason why you don't know if you can trust somebody is because, one, you're not in touch with your own spirit. So that means you don't really know your intuition, and your intuition is a part of your spirit, but we're not really taught all that, how to tap into that stuff. That's why, we're talking about all this now. Your intuition and meditation and mindfulness and being kind of mindful about things. We gotta get closer to our spirit. We need to learn our spirit. Because the thing is, when people say they can't trust other people and they don't know this, it's because our bodies are just like avatars. So the spirit could be saying one thing and just tell your body to smile and just be telling a lie, right? And the reason why we get fooled is because we look at the face. We look at the face value of the situation. But if you know your own spirit and you're in touch with your intuition, the stuff that your spirit comes with, you can tell, you can look past the avatar and get the vibe of the spirit. And that happens on accident sometimes. You know, you can walk into a room and be like, something feels off in here. Or if you're walking down the street and you see somebody coming, you know, the other way, you're like, man, that person seems creepy. We're getting that vibe. We just got to learn how to tap into it and recognize it when it's actually happening. Like some psychic stuff. I bet a lot of us are more psychic than we think. We're just not in touch with it because you're not that in touch with your spirit. You're too busy living from the human experience. But you got to realize the human experience is still being ran by the spirit. It's like a car can't, I mean, they got self-driving cars, all right. But we're talking about the cars that you actually have to drive. The car is not going to go anywhere unless you get in it and drive it, right? It's the same way your spirit is driving your body. So the most important thing should be your spirit, because that's what's making your body navigate this place. The body is mainly to interact here, to be able to ride roller coasters, to taste food, you know. But you still need to take care of your body, because that's what represents your spirit on the physical. But if you have a healthy spirit and it's healed, that's why I talk about healing. It all starts on the inside, because that's the main thing. That's the main thing that runs everything. And if you have a healthy spirit, you're in tune. Your spirit has so many gifts. It's not your body that has gifts, it's your spirit that has gifts. And your body just helps you to express your gifts. Because the spirit is invisible. It's energy. So your body and your spirit both need each other. But your spirit, they're both important. But your body could be more efficient if your spirit is in tune, if that makes sense. Because if your spirit is running your body and being safe and picking up on your intuition, keeping you out of trouble, then you're keeping your body safe. But if you're only kind of going off the body and only looking at everything as face value, it's like when you're like, man, this person's been lying to me for this whole time. I had no idea. It's because you are only looking at the face you're only looking at the body. You gotta go a little deeper. You gotta go deeper, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. You gotta get past the human part and listen to how you feel when you're around people. See if their body movements are matching what they're saying. That's why they have like some of the like body language experts, because the spirit is talking, but the body is doing something totally different, because the spirit is trying to make the body match what it says when it's being deceitful. And it doesn't always get it right, and it doesn't get it right that often. If you know what you're looking for, but you have to be in tune with yourself first. You can't only be operating from the physical, because you're only using 50% of the experience of what you're here for. You're only kind of using like the standard part of your spirit that just keeps the body running. But you can also, it's like our phones. All right, I'm gonna use this as an example. Like our phones. Who knows how to do all the crazy stuff? Our phones can do so much more than we even do. Half the time when we're upgrading is for the camera. But we still ain't even tapped into everything it can do and the main functions. All I do is text and scroll, maybe take a picture here and there. I really don't need the upgrade. That's kind of like our spirit. We're using the bare minimum of our spirit when there's so much more to it than we know. So that's why I always say we need to get to know ourselves. And the only way you get to know yourself is you need to be alone for a while. You need to hear yourself think. When you're hearing yourself think, it's you listening to your spirit talk. You're listening to how it works. And it'll tell you, you'll be able to get in tune with it. So just remember, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. But I'm going to end this right here. Until next time.